Today is February 13th. Today's quote is entitled, "Painful Situations." One of the most painful situations to be in is to know what should be done and not do it, especially when not doing it is causing problems or suffering. The pain of doing what we resist, that means what we resist doing, is almost always less than the pain of not doing it. And isn't it a fact that one of the most painful experiences in life is to know I should do A, but I do B. And then I have to live with myself, knowing that I didn't do what I know I should have done, and that by not doing what I should have done, I'm going to suffer. What could really be more painful than that? Because our conscience is burdened by the reality that we didn't do what we knew was the right thing to do. And we did something else, and now we're burdened by the reality created, number one, in our consciousness, but number two, just externally, by what we did or didn't do. What we did, the reality of what we did created, or what we didn't do, what that reality created. And then we're living right in the middle of the mess we created, knowing that we shouldn't have done that. So, the reason I'm bringing this topic up is because if we understand this, if we're very clear about this, then it gives us a little more power to do what we know we should do, because when we're thinking about maybe I should or shouldn't do it, then we're going to be thinking, if I don't do it, I'm really going to suffer. I'm just going to feel really bad. And it's so interesting how in our modern culture, people are trying to feel good without acting good. And it's a contradiction. In other words, I may not be a good person, I may not do things which would make me feel good, which means doing things that are right, even materially, but I want to be happy, so I do things like intoxicate myself, not only with drugs, it could be with sex, it could be with hobbies, it could be with sports, it could be with work. I try to intoxicate myself to make myself feel good, because I actually don't feel good because I'm not acting in integrity with my values. So because I'm not acting properly, I have to do something else to forget this reality that's making me miserable, and then create another reality where I forget this one by doing things to forget the reality I don't want to face. So it's a really painful situation. And then the last point I made is that although that may be painful to deal with, something that's difficult, that we're having trouble doing, it's often, if not always, more painful not to do it. That's the whole point. So, if it's about pain, the path of least pain will be the thing that you think is going to be more painful. It'll be less painful, because once you do it, you'll be relieved. And you'll feel good. And when you do the right thing, you'll feel good. Just like if you have good sadhana, you feel good. If you do your service sincerely, you feel good because you're doing the right thing. But to try to feel good and not be a good devotee or even a good person, that's called materialistic civilization. You can buy happiness. You just go shop and you'll get happiness. You don't have to uplift your consciousness or purify yourself or be a good person. You just have to buy things and then you'll be happy. Or you have to do things to intoxicate yourself with a kind of false happiness. And that's materialistic society. It's a resistance of doing the right thing, and then opting for doing something to dull ourselves, to forget how we really feel about ourselves. So that's really sad. So don't fall into that trap. We could even fall into it as devotees.